Hello dear students, we were discussing about the crystal field theory and we were discussing about the crystal field splitting in case of an octahedral complex, isn't it? And we studied that all the d orbitals, they are in same energy. Okay, all the d orbitals in a free metal ion or in a metal, they are in same energy, that is they are degenerate. And when the ligands approaches, what will happen? The energy of the d orbitals increases, and as the ligand approaches, the d orbitals, they split into two different energy levels. And the splitting in the octahedral is like that. The T2g orbitals, their energy will be less than that of the average energy, and that of the Eg orbital, that will be higher than that of the average energy. Okay, and this T2g orbitals, they split 2 by 5, their energy will be less than 2 by 5, and that of the Eg orbitals, that will be greater than that of the average orbitals by 3 by 5. Okay, and the difference between the energy difference between the T2g and Eg, that is called the delta zero, which is called the crystal field splitting energy. Okay, delta zero, that is the crystal field splitting energy, and this O, it stands for the octahedral complexes. Okay, and this crystal field splitting delta O, it depends upon the field produced by the approaching ligands and charge on the central metal. Okay, this splitting, how much the splitting happens, this depends upon the field created by this ligand and the charge on the metal ion. In the earlier valence bond theory, we studied that in some cases pairing will happen, and in some cases pairing will not happen. Right, in case of CO, in case of the ligand CO, the electrons, they will not pair because of the field produced by the CO ligand, it is weak, hence pairing of electrons does not occur, isn't it? And that is why here this splitting, it depends upon the field produced by the coming ligand and the charge on the metal. Okay, then some ligands are able to produce strong fields in which this splitting will be large, whereas other produces weak field and consequently result in small splitting of d orbitals. Okay, then in general, ligands can be arranged in a series of the order of increasing field strength as given below. Okay, so which has the field here? This is arranged in the increasing order of their field strength. Okay, so CO, it has greater field, then Cn, then En, NH3, EDTA4 minus, like that. This is the increasing order of the field strength. Okay, so when the ligands are arranged in the increasing or when the ligands are arranged in the order of the magnitude of the crystal field splitting energy, this arrangement thus obtained, it is called the spectrochemical series. Okay, what does mean by the spectrochemical series? When ligands, they are arranged in the increasing order of their crystal field splitting energy, the series thus obtained, it is called the spectrochemical series. Okay, then here these ligands, they produce a weak field, and these ligands will produce a strong field. Okay, for the strong field ligands like CO, Cn minus, all, their delta O value, that is this splitting value of the octahedral complex, it is very high. This splitting value, it will be very high. Okay, next we are going to see how the electrons are arranged in the T2g and Eg orbitals, that is in the d orbital, how these electrons are arranged. We know, consider the case of D3 configuration. If the configuration is D3, how these electrons are arranged? We know that in the octahedral complex, T2G, it has lesser energy than Eg. Okay, so the electrons, they are arranged in the T2G orbitals first. All the orbitals, they are singly occupied. Okay, so this is how, if the configuration is D3, the electrons are arranged as T2G3, Eg0. Okay, then suppose if the configuration, it is D4. Okay, if the configuration, it is D4, then how these electrons are arranged? There are two possibilities. One is all T2G orbitals will get one electron, and one electron it is in the Eg orbitals. Then another possibility is that T2G orbitals are singly filled, then pairing happens. This is the next possibility. Okay, and both these two configurations are possible if the configuration is D4, and that will depend on the splitting energy and pairing energy. Okay, splitting energy and pairing energy. This will happen if the splitting energy is less than the pairing energy. Okay, this will happen if the splitting energy is less than the pairing energy. Splitting energy less means we know that all the d orbitals, 5 d orbitals, they are degenerate, and if this is its average energy, it will split into T2G and Eg orbitals, isn't it? If the splitting is less, what will happen? The electrons, they can easily, after occupying in the T2G orbitals, it can easily arrange in the Eg orbitals, isn't it? So suppose this splitting is very large. Suppose this is the 3 Eg orbitals and this is the 2 T2G orbitals. Here the splitting, it is very large, isn't it? So in that case, what will happen? Pairing will happen if the pairing energy is less than the splitting energy. Here the splitting is very large, so it is difficult for the electron to come into Eg. So after completing the pairing, then only the electrons will reach in the Eg orbitals when the splitting energy is greater than the pairing energy. Okay, so if the configuration it is D4, there are two possibilities. One is T2G 4 Eg0. That is, here pairing is happening. When this pairing is happening? When the pairing energy is less. That is, the splitting energy, it is very much greater than the pairing energy. Then pairing will easily happen. Okay. Then another possibility is T2G, it is T2G3 Eg1. Here pairing is not happening. When will this happen? When the pairing energy is greater, no pairing will happen. That is, the splitting energy, it will be small. So the Eg and T2G orbitals, they will be close to each other. So the electrons, they can easily arrange in the Eg orbitals. But if the splitting energy is very much large, then it is difficult for the electrons to enter the Eg orbital, so the pairing will happen. Okay, this is how the electrons are arranged in the T2G and Eg orbitals. Okay, now let's see the splitting in tetrahedral complex. Okay, this is how the crystal field splitting occurs in the tetrahedral complex. Okay, tetrahedral complex, in the metal ion, the d orbitals, they are degenerate, that is, they have the same energy. Okay, when the 4 ligands approach to the central metal ion from the corner of a tetrahedron, the 3d orbitals, that is the T2G orbitals, okay, that is the T2G orbitals, they are close to the approaching ligand. Okay, here we know in tetrahedron the ligands, they are arranged in the 4 corners of the tetrahedron, isn't it? So when the ligands, they approach to the central metal atom along the corners of the tetrahedron, what will happen? The T2G orbitals, they will be more close to the approaching ligands. Since this T2G orbitals, they are more close to the approaching ligands, what will happen? Their repulsion is more than that of the Eg orbitals. Okay, So as a result, this T2G orbitals, they will suffer more repulsion. Okay, more repulsion, and the energy of the T2G, it increases than the EG. Okay, so the energy gap between the two sets of orbitals is designated as delta T. Okay, delta T, and this T, it stands for the tetrahedral complex. And okay, then it is observed that the delta T is considered considerably less than that of delta O. Okay, so the splitting, it will be delta T when we consider the case of delta O and delta T. This delta T will be less than delta O. Okay, then this delta T, it will be equal to 4 by 9. This delta T, it will be equal to 4 by 9 delta O. This delta T, it will be equal to 4 by 9 delta O. Okay, so this is the splitting in case of tetrahedral complex. This is the case of tetrahedral complex. In tetrahedral complex, the EG, it will have lesser energy, and the energy difference from the average energy is 3 by 5, and in case of T2G, it is 2 by 5. But here T2G has larger energy than EG, but here EG has greater energy than T2G. Okay, so this is the case of tetrahedral and octahedral complex.